Hey girls, we're going to go over a review of the previous match against Arlington. The focus is going to be on defensive shape, and three keys to defending is your shape and organization, communication, and discipline. So we're going to take a look at all of those, but it's important that we use this video analysis as a tool to just kind of help us get some ideas on how to improve things, whether in training or in matches. We'll do a couple clips on our build-up decisions from this match, and one or two about valuing ball possession. So just get started right away with, in terms of when the ball goes up in the air, it bounces up on a punt, and we want to make sure that initially that our center backs are stepping in and providing some pressure on this forward here who's about to receive the ball. So very important that we put that pressure on. Even though they cough up the ball, we're still a little bit unorganized in terms of our shape. If you see when this ball lands here, do we have any cover, coming over from Eliza and Kathy? I think that's G over there. Are we sliding over just in case they do regain possession of the ball? Instead, we're reacting to it, and it creates a 1v1 tussle or a 1v1 50-50. So even when they get the ball in, do we start to step up? Are we starting to mark up? Or are we starting to find the players that we need to be on, in this situation here, and one on the back post, in case there is a service? You can see that one right here. If there is a service, are we tight? We're fortunate that they don't get ahead on it. So again, want to make sure we're very organized. So in this situation here, we have two center backs. One, Eliza goes up. The next one, Kathy goes up. You can see our right back is way too far away. Second center back comes up. And now you have a situation where both center backs are up defending, and this space in behind here is left wide open for a through ball. And again, our goalkeeper comes up fine and wins it. But again, just want to be aware of those situations and leaving the space, or not protecting the space in behind. So right in this situation, you can see all of us are on, for the most part, on one side of the field, leaving our left back, kind of stranded to defend this entire space. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. You can see when this player receives the ball here, her body shape and her eyes are facing this direction. So you can make some general assumptions that she's most likely going to either play back or look to play into this open space. It's not a big deal if she turns and goes back the same direction, because we have players here that can help, if she does attack down that side. But when she does play the switch, there has to immediately be a hard run across the field. This is okay to apply some pressure there, but the rest of the team has to really start to shift over, and get over. And for me, it's most likely this forward here. I think that's Bristol should probably be the one that's applying some pressure so that Emily can help protect this space here that is wide open now for them to combine in behind. And again, if these players slide over, all of them collectively, that space isn't that wide open. But now we look at our back four, left back, center back, center back, right back, and we're really spread out, 18 or 25, 30 yards away from our goal. It's good initial pressure here, closing gates, and we're getting out of trouble. That's fine, but it's, again, the shape is very important, and how we get together. So you can see this is our forwards, and then you can see how far back our center backs are. We want to make sure that we really get tighter, because now you see the space that they have here to be able to play in behind this line right there. If I'll back up one step, we have it, we lost it, and now there's a big gap in the middle of the field for them to be able to attack. And we look at our right back, left back, and this is the space that they have to attack us in. Again, do we have a back four here, or do we have players in awkward positions. Okay, and that's something we want to address and make sure. And Kathy does a good job to challenge that player. But we want to look at how our back line looked in terms of the shape. Again, off a throw in. If we just look at this here, off a throw in, ball comes in. Where's the space that's dangerous? Right here, right here, right here. So when the clip moves on, you'll see how far our back line is. And again, that's a big space. When the throw in was here, that's a big space for us to be, or it's a big distance for us to be away. And now they're easily able to create 1v1s, 2v1s on the wide areas. Think about again, should our center backs be, and then where are they as they have a throw in this deep part of their half. It's a long ball that's played. Do we have a challenge? Are we ready to challenge it? If we don't win it, remember the center backs are here, or the defenders are here, and the throw in was all the way back there. And now this player is wide open to be able to create an attack. And we're all sprinting back to rescue defend, but we don't have the numbers back because you can see there's two wide open players running into the 18. And again, all of that can be avoided if the back line pushes up with our midfield. And again, let me make it clear. It's not just the back four. The midfield also has to create some density or some compactness in the middle of the field as well, so that they're not able to do this too easily. Again, you can see our forwards all the way to our center backs, and that's just way too much time and space for the opponent to have on the ball to be able to run at us and play in behind. It didn't work out for them that time, but you'll see that it does eventually. It's the same clip. Looks like we're about to build out. When we're in this expansive shape, you can see, I won't do everybody, but you can see that everybody is in a position for us to build. We have an outside back, center back, mid, 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 mid. So if we lose this ball, there's a lot of work to get back, and we're very spread out. So immediately look how spread out we are. Okay, I won't put the circles, but you can see that they have time and space to be able to play. This player's wide open here and has the ability to play wherever she wants because of our back line and midfield not being compact enough in that whole area of the field. And ultimately, as we're dropping off, we give up a corner, and instead of pushing up and defending them a little bit higher. Here's just the build up situation that we want to pay attention to. So as that's not a terrible decision to play to a midfielder, to Emily there, but how we're going to break this down, we have to have more than one solution than putting this player into a corner and having her fight her way out. So one solution would be for this outside back to push up. So maybe this player either follows her, and if she doesn't, then she's wide open to play. Also, one of our forwards should be coming into this space. Midfielders should be sliding over to help. 6 should be dropping in so that Kathy can get wide, and then maybe Eliza can just play out to Kathy, and we go this way. Lots of options, but putting ourselves in this corner doesn't really do a lot of justice for the ability that we have. Very similar here. A couple of clips are going to be like this. Instead of putting her in the corner, maybe she runs up there and we play here and we create 2v1s around here, this player, or worst case scenario, if we have to hit a long one, at least our forwards are dropped back a little bit more to help us. Same thing here. The attempt is to go here, which is fine if we put enough weight on the pass. But also, it looks like Christina, if you're up here, then it gives Eliza a little bit more space to run in if this player drops back with you. So instead of being so expansive, now we have to recover and everybody's got to sprint back to defend. We can probably solve it a couple of different ways. So as we're training, those are things that you want to consider. Okay, a tough pass into that pressure there. when there's a lot of open space over here. Okay, but it happens. Now they have the ball and get an opportunity. So again, just to review that, not a bad first start to get on the ball, but now can we play Kathy right away, or can we play the outside back right away? If Kathy plays it out here as well, you guys can always get the ball set back to you and then play the long one. It's the same clip because right now is where all of us as a staff were wondering to ourselves, can we solve this a different way, and we need to work on it a little bit more. So if this ball gets laid off one touch to Kathy and then Kathy just hits the ball here, which wouldn't be a bad tactic considering how they're pressing with players, and that's the bottom line, is how many players are they pressing in our own around our own 18. We want to have you know forwards, midfielders checking back into the space so that she can hit it one touch, and then the delivery here we just have to get under the ball and give it hit it with some pace. But the bigger issue is that we're just not able to get out of trouble. So that's something we would really want you guys to focus on moving forward as we get the season started, the regular season started. On a long throw here, you can see we have numbers around the ball, but this is the player that receives the ball, and we could probably be a little bit tighter on this player, challenge that instead of allowing her to win the ball. But that's not really, the biggest issue with it. The biggest issue here is that when she passes it ball back, watch all of us how we walk as opposed to get up to the 18. And you can see that if we did get up to the 18 at least, when this entry pass comes in, we would have already been here as opposed to back further, dropped in where we're giving them a scoring opportunity. So watch it one more time as the pass goes out. Sprint, 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 sprint. Everybody up, everybody up. It's a 1v1 here. Maybe we force her to the line instead of allowing her to come back in. But the fact that we're not stepped up is what leads to this goal, being scored because there wasn't any pressure on the goal scorer. So this next clip is really just what we want you to focus on is, are we passing the ball with a purpose, or are we passing it and hoping? So I think Maya, tries to pass again. Does she put it on her foot here, or does she create a 50-50 ball? We don't get it. Third time's a charm for Maya. We do find Bristol here. And then are we playing it into the space where we can succeed, or are we putting it on her feet, or are we finding open space for players that can help us attack? And, it's hopeful she regains it. And I think, Bristol, you're trying to play this one in behind now. But again, who has time and space? Who has time and space? Who has time and space? Where is the time and space on the ground versus, creating 50-50 chances? And it happens several more times, a one touch to another 50-50, a 1v1 duel here where we're not on the receiving end and we lose possession again. Are we recovering? Back four looks pretty good there. We regain. And then again, we have, if forwards or ball carriers, not just this individual, not just Bristol here, but if she's not hard checking and initiating contact with this a defender, it becomes more of a hopeful pass than anything else, as opposed to finding the open player, finding the open player that can help us out, maybe spinning and then playing it out to the other side, just different options and ways to look at things here. But we lose it, and now they're on a jailbreak and have the time and space to be able to play in behind and create a scoring opportunity or a corner, which ultimately creates the scoring opportunity. Okay, ending the play. Okay, it's out. We're kind of walking around. Everybody needs to get tight on the players that they're marking, tight on the players that they're marking, and not allowing them to get anything easy. And finally, just as you hear the coaching staff talk about ending plays, it's having the wherewithal or the mindset to make sure that the ball gets out further than just the next opponent or the next two opponents, making sure we end it and get it out of trouble. And that's a matter of having some composure, maybe taking a touch and hitting it cleanly, or just getting your feet right to hit it one touch. And you can see from that clip, it took a lot to get out of pressure. And this is decent on the counter. It's just, can we play this ball earlier into that space? Takes us just a little long, and then we use our left foot instead of our right foot to put her in. But at the end of the day, it's a learning tool for you guys to take a look at your defensive shape and your organization. And it's not meant to harp on things. It's more of just to give you an idea. Okay, these are the things that Christian, Bobby, Tom, Eric, Aiden are talking about. Jack as well. Step up the lines, keep everybody close. Defend individually, force them outside. Don't dive in. All those kinds of things come into play. So hopefully it's helpful, and we'll see you guys soon.